Wait, there's something very weak coming through.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Hello, fellow Galactic listeners. I'm Heather Allred, and this is WSTR Galactic Public Access, the Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 82. Today, we're going to be talking about our 501st Troopers with Tom and Blake Rosy. Make sure I say that name correctly. And as always, joining me in the discussion today is Mr. Aaron Julian.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. Happy to be back.
Excellent.
It's always a blessing.
Yay. And Sir Todd Hoffman.
Oh, I got knighted all of a sudden?
You did. I don't know where it came from.
That's fantastic.
By the powers invested in me, I dub thee knight.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Are we talking Jedi Knight or just like Renaissance Fair Knight?
No, well, I'd rather be a Jedi Knight, but I'm sure Heather would like more of a runny kind of knight, you know?
Yeah, you take what you can get.
Take what you get.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Right, exactly.
Excellent. Well, Sir Todd, would you like to start us off with our news of the week?
Sure.
And now, the Star Wars News of the Week.
Whatever.
Absolutely. So, okay, here we go. First off, this little episode 9 announcement came out from Lucasfilm announcing the cast for Star Wars episode 9. So Billy D is confirmed. It's official. He's coming back. Maybe he's coming back as William Hood. No, he's coming back as Lando Calrissian. And then the biggest news really was about Carrie Fisher. So now what they're saying is that they got the blessing from the Fisher estate that she's going to be in episode 9, but they're going to use unused footage of Force Awakens. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, first of all, I'm just glad that they're not recasting her or using CG because that would just feel wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe not fully, maybe disrespectful, maybe not, but it just feel wrong. So I'm glad they're not doing that. I'm just doubtful that they'll have enough unused footage to actually construct a coherent and respectful and just a right send off for her. And I don't know, maybe they can weave the perfect quilt to make that happen, but that's got to be pretty challenging to be working with stuff that wasn't going to be used in one movie and you have to send a character off properly in another. I don't know. I hope they figure that out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, are they going to dub stuff over? So, I mean, the problem is just like with Tarkin in Rogue One, we knew, Peter Cushing wasn't alive. So we're always looking like, ooh, maybe that's right or maybe that's wrong. And then the same thing with Carrie Fisher. Yeah. We're going to be like, she's not around. So what was dubbed and what was used and all that kind of stuff. So should be kind of interesting to see what will happen.
We also don't know how much they're going to be manipulating this footage. So it's like, are they going to dub over some lines and then CGI her mouth to make it match?
Right,
and
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what they appear to be saying is that they're not going to be doing a completely CG character, which good for them. That's not what they should be doing.
Right.
But how much is it just going to be straight footage shot and how much of it is it going to be manipulated? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But
yeah. Heather, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah. I hope Billy D. Williams does as well as Donald Glover.
Okay.
And 2, obviously, I think we can all agree that we need to, as long as it's handled with as much respect as we can to Carrie Fisher's family, first and foremost, I think is what needs to be followed. And I agree, no CGI Leia. That would just be weird. And so I don't know if that means she'll be in a good portion of the film. They will handle her departure early on in the film based on what they have to work with. But let's keep it respectful and not cheesy. And let's not have her fly into space like Superman again.
Oh, that's a send off. She just kind of goes like right in space. She's like, boom.
Yep, just raises a lightsaber and
Just
flies off into the wild blue yonder.
I don't know.
Like, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. And she takes off.
Oh, Todd beat me. All right.
I know. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
good.
All right. So yeah, those were the two. I mean, it was kind of confirmed, but now it really is confirmed because it literally came from StarWars.com. Let's see here. Also, sources confirmed Friday that Russell has just closed the deal to join the film, finally finding a truly satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker saga. Without her would elude us. We're never going to recast or use CGI character. That's what JJ said. Again, with the support of her daughter, Billy, and we found a way to honor Carrie's legacy. So there you go. That's all from JJ. Rounding out the cast, we're going to see Daisy Ridley, obviously. Hopefully, Ray will turn. Adam Driver, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac. Maz is back with Lupta. She's coming back. Gleason's back with General Hux. Kelly Marie Tran as Rose. Jonas as Chewie. And then Billy Lord. And obviously John Williams will return to score the film. We also have, like I said, Kerry Russell. And then who's the other? Oh, there's two other actors that they named. Naomi Aki and Richard E. Grant are some of the new cast members, but no Phasma and no DJ showing up here. Yeah.
Will they come back? Who knows?
Well, I mean,
they could be setting up a surprise for us.
Well, again, they didn't say Frank Oz joined Last Jedi, so there's that.
Good call.
Yeah.
And then could be bamboozling us yet again.
Exactly. The I forget the girl. The name's escaping me, but the girl that played Effie's Nest. I mean, she was never even mentioned until after the film. So there's still hope for all those Phasma and DJ fans that there could be another surprise outing of Episode 9. I think the weird thing of this is this is closing the saga, so it's hard to say what's nothing's off the table here. Nothing's off the table. We could get our Qui-Gon Jinn. We could get Liam Neeson back. Could maybe Hayden shows up. So. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that it's starting to film this week. It's kind of surreal that that's happening. So big news out of Star Wars camp. All right, what's up next there, Heather?
Well, as always, it's interesting in the entertainment world. So in the past year or so, there's been some interpersonal interactions on social media that have collided with real life that have had some grave implications. Nice swag there, Todd. What? So shortly after...
Everybody watch our live stream. WSTR Media on YouTube. Yeah. Subscribe. Don't miss a
watch
single
us.
Thing. We got merch now, but more about that later.
Shortly after actress Roseanne Barr was fired from her series, an ABC over tweet deemed racist, the pendulum swung over to Marvel, where director James Gunn was canned at Disney and Guardians of the Galaxy over some controversial tweets that were recently resurfaced.
10 years resurfaced.
Things took a very interesting turn when Star Wars The Last Jedi director, Mr. Rian Johnson, recently deleted some 20,000 tweets from his years before Lucasfilm. 20,000. That's
just one more time.
4
just one
zeros,
more time.
my friend.
He just went in and executed Order 66 on his Twitter account. Wipe them out.
Wipe
So-
them
All
out.
of them.
So he was then asked about his personal Order 66, as we'll call it, why he did such a hardcore social media cleaning, to which he responded via the good old Twitter. No official directive at all, and I don't think I've ever tweeted anything that bad. But it's 9 years of stuff written largely off the cuff as ephemera. Say it again, Aaron. Ephemera? I don't even know.
It's a big
Ephemera?
word.
Ephemera.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
We
So
learned
basically, stuff that's here today, gone tomorrow.
if trolls scrutinizing it for ammunition is the new normal, this seems like a why not move.
Basically, I want to keep my job, and I want to make the next 3 trilogies that Lucasfilm has deemed, and I want to make sure my pocketbook is not touched.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah. It is a scary time to be on Twitter, everyone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe he's just ahead of the curve.
Maybe. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, yeah, it proves the point. I mean, Roseanne gets a new show. Everything's going great. They got the cast back. They get the whole thing, and she sends out a tweet, and they can it. They just can it. They're just like, it's done, And then James Gunn already wrote the script, already made them $1 billion on the first 2 films. 10 years later, these tweets surface, and he's gone. So it's weird. And then with Ryan Johnson doing the Order 66 on himself, it's like he just wants to make sure it's just rainbows, unicorns, and happy thoughts, happy beeps out there for him in Twitter land. So
Yeah, you got to be a it's escaping me the what people say Ray is all the time.
Mary Sue.
Mary Sue.
Mary Sue, thank you. I was thinking Susie Q for some reason. I'm like, that's not right.
That's a hostess.
You
That's
gotta
a
be Mary
hostess
Sue if you want to
product.
work for anybody now, apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, you can have opinions, but you can't tweet them
Yeah.
if you're famous.
well,
if you're famous, if you're not
Right.
famous, you can tweet everything you want and then try to bring people down, which is what this guy did. So, all right. Well, Aaron, I think you have this next one kind of segues right into this.
Yeah, so this came out today. Basically, the entire Guardians of the Galaxy cast came out in support of James Gunn, and we're protesting his firing. So there's this huge statement released, signed by the principal cast of Guardians of the Galaxy. We're going to go ahead and retweet it on our Twitter account, probably Instagram too, but WSTR Media, all one word, all lowercase, if you want to find us. And yeah, they're basically saying like, look, we don't support the jokes that he made or whatever he said years and years ago, but the way we know him is, he's basically he's the kindest, most sincere, genuine person that we've ever had the pleasure of working with, and hey, we want him back on for Guardians Volume 3. So please reinstate him. Thank you. This could be really, really interesting. And this news is probably out of date by the time the podcast comes out on Wednesday. But I'd be really curious to see how Disney responds to this, because this could be interpreted as basically an underhanded way of saying, hey, if you don't put James Gunn back on the picture, we might boycott it and just not agree to film it. And then you're out of a movie. And then, Disney could just fire back with, oh, we'll just cancel the whole movie.
Oh gosh.
So, yeah, I don't know where this could go. Heather, your thoughts on this?
I just shake my head. I can't believe that we just live in a world where you can't change as a human being, that something that happened 20 years ago becomes your demise. And again, not justifying anything that was done 20 years ago, but it's almost like saying we're not even going to give you the opportunity to grow and be redeemed for something that you did. I mean, shoot, when we were 16, we probably did stupid things. When we were 20, we did stupid things, but that doesn't stop you from growing into a mature adult. So what this means for the film, potentially, I mean, who knows? You know, you get enough people to not show up on set, and you can't recast these people after 2 films. Well, technically 3 if you include Avengers.
Right,
so
yeah. They're just gonna put a giant rat out front on side of the movie studio. Like, we're not going in.
I love it.
They're just playing beanbags out front, you know, like Star-Lord and
That's right.
you know, Gamora just playing bags outside.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, this seems like a very reasonable, measured response. You know, the response mentions they took like 10 days to think it over, pray it over, what have you. Seems pretty reasonable in my book, but yeah, we'll have to see how this unfolds and more hashtag Disney drama as it unfolds. So we might be telling a very, very different story next week. We'll have to see how it plays out. But
yeah, I mean, I don't want to repeat because we did kind of talk about this last week, but it's like they knew about those tweets, or maybe they didn't, but they're not going to take back the box office stuff that James Gunn made them for the first 2 films. You know, it just doesn't make sense, you know? So
one other thing I wanted to mention,
sure.
Disney's shareholder meeting was last week. And where they basically voted and approved the whole buyout of 20th Century Fox. I'm thinking, you know, it was like the week before or like days before when this whole James Gunn thing blew up. I'm thinking Disney panicked knowing their shareholder meeting was coming up, and they basically just didn't want to deal with it and swatted him down before anything happened, because they're like, nothing can go wrong with the shareholder meeting. We got to explain the Solo revenue. We got to try to buy Fox. It's like nothing can go wrong. That's what I think happened. So, you know, maybe after they got everything they wanted with the shareholder meeting, maybe they'd be more willing to take him in. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and how much was the sale for Fox? 70 bill?
It's like 71 billion.
They are the new empire. I mean, it's
Yep.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, that's
more
enough,
to come. More to come on that. Yeah. More to come on that.
Yeah, that's enough Hollywood drama for one day, I think.
Right. Exactly.
Todd, what are we talking about today?
Well, wait, we gotta go in what's happening this week with each other. So let's do Cantina Chat.
Oh, alrighty.
So, Heather, what's going on with you? Anything geeky happening?
Oh, not a whole lot. I did make it out to the fair, the Renaissance Fair, that is, this past weekend.
What fun.
I had heard rumors that there'd be some 501st members trooping there in their kilts. Mm-hmm. I sadly didn't get to see any on the day that I went, because I think they went on Saturday and I went on Sunday.
Oh, man.
But I did see some good Star Wars cosplay while I was there. Not necessarily 501st approved, a little homegrown action, but any fandom is good fandom, I guess. So,
did you see any steampunk Star Wars? Because that would be cool.
That'd be really cool. I didn't.
Oh. Maybe you should get on that, Heather.
I'm like, my brain, like, I literally stopped talking to you guys because my brain's like, oh, what can I do?
Yeah. Right.
Well, this was like the time travel weekend for the Ren Fair, right?
So the past weekend was RenCon. So basically honoring all things sort of Comic-Con, but it was RenCon because it's the Ren Fair. Get it?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And so they then do a separate time traveler weekend where you're going to get all your steampunk and then almost all Doctor Who's.
Oh, that's when the Whovians show up?
That's when the Whovians show up.
Yeah.
British guys in tweed suits.
Now, have you gone as a different character each time, Heather?
So I've only been 2 weekends.
Okay.
And I have worn, for lack of a better word, the same outfit. There's pieces within the outfit, so it's like all layers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the first kind of official time I went, I did wear my outfit that kind of portrays me as a Hogwarts professor because
it's what you do.
And then this past weekend, I truly focused on my photography and really wanting to hone that part of my life. So I kind of just went super cash to be comfortable to get the shots and everything. So
okay. I can understand that. But yeah, maybe work on that steampunk Star Wars. That would be good. That would be good.
To figure out how
Aaron,
to do
did you do anything geeky or fun?
As a matter of fact, I am about halfway through season 1 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Nice.
And it's pretty good.
You're catching up. You're catching up.
I don't know if this is a character flaw of mine or like a defense mechanism or something. I don't know, but it's just like whenever something new pops up that's like everybody's like, oh, this is really good. You got to watch it. Some part of me is like, no, I don't want to. And so I shrink away and I'm like, see, I'm not like the mainstream. Right, I know what's up.
Right. Yeah.
And so I tend to gravitate towards good media far too late when nobody cares about it anymore, or it's just like not in the limelight.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I'm catching up, and gotta say it's pretty darn good. It's not the kids cartoon I thought it was going to be. Well,
yeah,
a little bit.
There's a little bit.
The battle droid humor. It's like,
yeah,
all right, yeah. But you know. It's like Star Wars. Like you got to have some parts for it for the kids.
That's right. Yeah, there's some kooky stuff in there, but it's all good. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're like you're like retro, but even more retro now because it's like
oh yeah.
Yeah. You're just catching on when it's cool when it's coming back. You're like, oh yeah, I haven't even watched it. I don't even know why Clone Wars is saved.
I'm like second wave retro.
yeah, exactly. Well, you'll be caught up before it's on streaming by Disney, so you'll be good to go. You're like, yeah, I'm caught up.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Anything else?
What about you, Todd?
I'm reading Thrawn or listening to Thrawn, and it's
Thrawn
fantastic.
Alliances.
Yes, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's so good.
Do they have one guy doing both Thrawn and Anakin?
Yes.
Ooh.
And it jumps between like prequel Anakin and like Darth Vader, toasty Anakin, you know what I'm saying? So it jumps back and forth, and it's really cool. It's really cool. I really dig it. And there's action happening at Black Spire at Batuu, and if that doesn't ring a bell, that's the old planet and theme park that will be in Disneyland and Disney World. So Timothy Zahn is basically
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. Timothy Zahn is basically flushing out Batuu and Black Spire, and it's pretty fantastic. So yeah, it's really good.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll be reviewing that very shortly. So I'm really excited about that. So
I think we should head into our main topic.
And now for our feature presentation.
All right,
Todd, what have we got today?
Okay, so today it's a little bit different. Unfortunately, our guest works nights, so he's like a vampire. So he doesn't come out too much during the night because, well, he's working nights and he sleeps during the day. So I interviewed a fellow 501st trooper from the Midwest Garrison, Tom Rosy, and his son Blake, and they do a lot of troops together. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to kind of see what's going on with him. And I've trooped with him a couple times and had a great time with him. So I wanted to have him on the show. And so we are going to play our interview with Tom Rosy and his son Blake. Take it away, Aaron. Hello, fellow Galactic listeners. I'm Todd Hoffman, and this is WSTR Galactic Public Access, a Star Wars podcast. Today, with me, I have a very special guest, co-host with me, Trent Hoffman. Hi, Trent.
Hi.
And also with me today is Tom and Blake Rosy.
Actually, Rosy.
Rosy?
Yeah.
Well, I already messed up the interview.
No, it's right. Yeah, it's a common misconception. But
yeah, there's no E.
There's no E. Yeah, it's pronounced Rosy, and it used to be deriven from my original last name, which was Rosati.
Oh, Rosati, like the pizza.
Yeah, exactly, but no pizza. Relation or the alcohol. I think is there's some kind of wine out there too.
Oh, a Rosati wine.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, but no relation.
So I already screwed up your last name. I apologize for that. Okay. Rosy. Okay, so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes,
nice to have.
Yeah,
nice to be here.
Yes. So Tom and I know each other from the 501st.
Yep.
I think we unofficially met at the Rogue One viewing in New Lenox.
Okay.
Yeah. You and Blake were there.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was like we had that lightning storm. Remember?
Yep.
I was there too.
You were there too, right?
Yeah, I was just keep on wanting.
Yeah. Well, we had to get out of there quick because like the storm was coming. So Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well,
you already told us about your last name.
Yeah, well, I'm Tom Rosy.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
there.
yeah. So, one of my hobbies is obviously the 501st. It's something that I really enjoy doing. Not only getting out there, but doing it with my son.
Yes.
It's something that we've most recently.
His glasses so went in the storm.
Yeah.
His glasses.
So it's something we most recently had a chance to do together. He's tagged along, but he's got his own costume now.
Yeah.
So he's a Jawa, and it's fitting for his size and everything like that. And he enjoys it, and he really actually does an awesome job. I've had other people compliment me on the work he does as far as when he's in his costume, because he engages the kids, and even the ones that some kids are kind of scared or they don't know what to do. He will go up to them and kind of get down on their level, even though he's already sort of there. But he will draw them in, and he really engages with the kids really well. And it's fun to see, and it's fun to share
those experiences
with him. Yeah.
So Blake, what's some of your tricks that you do to engage kids?
Like one troop, I just sat down like by an R2D2 and like was waving my hand like for kids to come sit by me and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, he'll sit Indian style and things like that, and just Jawa's obviously very kind of tricky.
They're a little quirky. They're a little quirky.
So,
yeah, exactly.
So he'll go up to people too and kind of do funny things. So it's fun. But
I have like a clone trooper at Captain Rex.
A Captain Rex clone trooper helmet. That's right. Yeah.
The speaker's right here in the talking.
That's right. Just like me, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's fun. And so I mean, I've always loved.
2 speakers.
Yeah. Okay. I've always loved Star Wars. It's always been. I was born in 1977. So
the year.
The year.
Yes.
Yeah. The actual year.
Yeah.
So it's been a part of my life as long as I've been alive.
Yeah. What's your first memory of like Star Wars?
Well, I can remember going to see Empire at the drive-up.
Okay.
Even though I was, 2 or whatever. I don't know how long it aired for, like kept in the show. So I'm not exactly sure the year that I went to see it, but I remember seeing it there. I can remember playing with my action figures on the floor, separating them from movie. Oh, this guy was in Empire, this guy, and in Jedi, and I would just kind of do that. That's one of my earliest memories. But I think as you grow up, or people kind of know you, and they say, hey, that person's bound to be a doctor, that person's bound to be, whatever.
Yeah.
I think people probably could have looked at me and said, that person's bound to be a stormtrooper. Because it's just always been something,
in
me.
Yeah.
I would always have friends come over to my house, and this is at a time when there was no more Star Wars.
The dark times.
The dark times.
Yeah, between 83 and 99.
Yeah. I got all my stuff from going to flea markets, going to like little conventions type stuff, and it was a hunt. It was a real hunt. The market wasn't saturated with toys and stuff like that. So when you found it, you were finding original things. You were on the hunt, and my bedroom was much like your basement, where it is just like nothing but Star Wars. And friends would just like to come over and just kind of
look at it like, whoa, and this is like next level.
So they were always impressed. So that was always kind of my thing.
Are we starting a podcast now?
Yeah, we are starting the podcast. It's happening right now.
No, like that.
It is. So they would come over your house and just like gaze. And,
So I mean, most of my friends knew. I'm sure when they see my Facebook profile now, nothing but Star Wars, and they like, I get it.
Yeah. So how about you, Blake? Like, how did you get into Star Wars? Is it just because of your dad?
Yeah, and I also like remember when I was little, we in our old basement. I remember him like grabbing some of like old boxes and like taking the toys out of it, and like finding all these cool stuff. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then also I remembered just watching it on TV.
Yes.
And I was watching the prequels, and I was like, oh my gosh, a clone died, and I was like crying and stuff just for that one clone.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely didn't like it when the clones got killed.
No, of course not. Of course not. That's awesome. Now, how old are you, Blake?
12.
12.
Yeah.
And now, what do the kids think about you dressing up?
I mean, like, most kids don't even really know too much. Like, I don't tell them, But, like, sometimes I might see some kids, like, troops by our area, by my house, and I'll be like, hey, say their names, and they'll be like, what the heck? And
like, who are you?
And I would be like, oh, no one.
and they won't recognize him because obviously he's in costume.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, that's awesome. So, when did you join the 501st?
I am a little over a year now, but as official member. But I've known about the 501st probably since their early beginnings. I've been going to places like C2E2 and conventions and seen them. I would stop by the booths and get to know them a little bit. I knew a few members. My sister is actually engaged to a member that's been in the 501st for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And
that helps.
It helps. It did help. Actually, it helped me out a lot as far as knowing what to do and kind of get me going.
I think that's the biggest hurdle.
It is.
Like trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to get really into this thing?
Right. And and that seems like to be one of the challenges besides possibly the money to get the costume is to find the avenues.
It was like wearing like a big button, there's all the wolves in there. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
To find the type of websites or where to go and how to get that. But I think the organization right now is definitely a big part of helping people do that, getting them the knowledge and what they need to get the costume made that they want made.
And the internet helps now.
Yeah. And, I'm sure we'll touch on it a little bit, but I'm doing a documentary right now with some filmmaker friends, and that's one of the things that has come up in a documentary, talking to a lot of the members, especially the members that have been in it from the beginning, is that it was very hard to get this going for them, and they didn't have the tools that we have now.
Right.
And so
like not even like that's the thing with even the internet. Now you can reference a lot of things. You can take those screenshots, look at them. Even like recently with Han Solo, like even the Min Trooper, and stuff like that. You can just like pause the trailer and be like, oh, okay, I understand how they, and before you didn't have that.
And even the technology to do and grab those screenshots is better because you have HD and I mean, you can get more quality photos and reference those parts and source them out better. So, I mean, on a whole, it's changed a lot. And,
So, tell me about the documentary. What are you doing there?
So the documentary came about where it actually happened at C2E2, and I actually have some filmmaker friends that I've worked on past projects with, and we've done movies and other little quirky things, a Green Lantern spoof trailer, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I see a lot of these friends who are a lot of them based out in Michigan at these conventions, and while this year had passed one of the after hours parties after the convention, and we were standing around talking, drinking, and I was mentioning to him how neat would it be to do something on the Garrison.
Oh, okay.
And so we got to talking, and we were shooting ideas back and forth, and we got Rex involved in that. And
Rex is our commanding officer for the Midwest Garrison.
That's correct. Yeah. Thank you for covering that.
No problem.
And so, talking to Rex and my buddy Mike, we kind of came up with a game plan. Especially seeing that the Garrison, the Midwest Garrison, is coming up on 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah.
So it's fitting to kind of try to do something on it now.
And we have one, Javier, who's like literally one of the original guys that started the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have the forefathers, and really there's literally four.
Yeah.
That are that got our Midwest Garrison going, and which is one of the older garrisons. In the whole 501st.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to talk to them and get their story and talk to them about how these humble beginnings started.
Because it really started around the prequels, right? Like 99.
Right. Well, yeah, the original guy that started it, which was out of North. Why am I blanking on this? I apologize. It was I keep wanting to say North Dakota. I mean North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
there you go.
Yeah, North Carolina. He got this started. There's actually a whole documentary on him. There's a few 501st documentaries out there.
But you're really trying to gear it towards the Midwest Garrison, which we're part of.
Yeah. And then on top of that, one of the stories I want to tell in there is the charitable works that we do.
Which is a huge part, which I don't think a lot of people know, is like that's a huge part of 501st is, I mean, we don't get paid for it,
right.
And anything that we do is really, a lot of times, it is geared around a charity event, and we just show up to, help promote that.
Yeah, and so we raise funds directly and indirectly for these charitable events, and so it's what brings a lot of us back. I mean, a lot of us may join for all different reasons, but we feel like we keep coming back because of these charitable events.
Yeah.
I mean, a good portion of us. I mean, in the beginning for me, I knew about the charitable events, but in the beginning for me, it was, hey, I'm going to dress up like a stormtrooper.
Right, yeah. This is awesome.
This is freaking awesome.
This is amazing.
But once you start doing these events and you start seeing, the effect that you have on kids and adults alone, too. It's
adults are into it too.
Yeah. It really motivates you to do the next event and the next event, and then when you see the stats on like what we did or what we raised and that kind of stuff, that really is really cool.
Like we were at a troop at Walmart just recently for May the 4th.
Right.
And it was really just the four of us and Trent.
Exactly.
Yeah. We had Robert, and then you were the Jawa, and me and you were both stormtrooper. Well, three of us were stormtroopers.
All three of us were.
And we raised like $300
in a couple hours.
And a couple hours. It was like, that was not a bad deal. You know?
Not bad at all.
Yeah. And it really didn't. That's the thing. Like, you don't realize it doesn't take a lot of effort to make it happen, and people are receptive to Star Wars because it is pretty much saturated pulp culture. And those kind of things help out raising something for a good charitable event, and we were able to raise like almost $400 in a couple hours. So.
And I think that too, what you just mentioned, the fact that there are so many Star Wars movies coming out, and with this merger with Disney and all that, it's allowing this platform for us to do this.
Yes.
Which I don't think we would have as many. I mean, there is something literally every weekend to do.
Yeah.
And it is a matter of picking and choosing what you want to do, or if you're available to do it almost every weekend. I could go on a troop every week.
Well, you'd be like Ted Ruler, one of our buddies, and he's like doing like 6 a weekend. You're like,
right, yeah.
Crazy.
So it's at all possible. In fact, when I leave here, I'm going to a troop. So, it's I'm. There's definitely stuff to do, and in a lot of these troops, may they be cheery raised or not, they're just really cool because you get involved in a lot of things that you almost see a lot of behind the scenes stuff, which is kind of neat. You know, doing the Sox game where you're in where the ballpark.
You get actually some special privileges. Yeah. So recently that was in May as well, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that experience.
Well, that was fun. I was on the field for that one. I was there.
And on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, and on the Jumbotron and on TV. I was actually on TV last year as well. But,
no big deal.
Those are kind of fun perks. But yeah, those are neat experiences to have, and it really makes some cool photos for your Instagram page.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, those are the kind of behind the scenes and things that are neat. Where the general public gets to see you do your thing, and and that's the kind of exposure that is kind of neat for the garrison too, because people see that stuff and then they go, "Wow, that's cool. How can I get them in our event?"
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So
So part of the documentary though is kind of documenting the members in it and then the people that are affected by those charities. Is that correct?
Yeah. So exactly, some of the families that have been directly affected by us are being interviewed too, which is very appreciative that they take the time out. But some of these stories, like Bugs Pals, for example, which is a sad story about a family that lost their daughter. What he's doing in retrospect of all that is he's helping raise these toys for these kids in the hospitals, and we've only been connected with him not in the beginning, but helping us. So he has us pass out the toys along with him.
Okay.
And it's incredible because he's doing it in the hospital that he lost his daughter in, and he's giving back and working with the nurses and doctors that.
Yeah, I haven't done a hospital troop yet. I really want to do one.
They're very rewarding and they're very
emotional.
And
how do you lost your daughter? How?
She was very sick, right?
Yeah, she was very sick. And so the thing about me too is I have a special needs daughter. And I actually had an opportunity to do a hospital troop in the very hospital that my daughter was in.
I gotcha. Okay.
So that's kind of
that brings it home.
It does bring it home.
Yeah.
She's spent weeks there, and I know the feeling of being stuck in a hospital room and the monotony of just sitting there and talking to doctors and saying the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
And so when you break up that monotony a little bit with
some sci-fi guys dressed in plastic,
or a magician or anything like that,
you
definitely welcome that. And if you're a Star Wars fan, you see some stormtroopers or your favorite character walk in the room. It really brightens up your day.
Yeah, absolutely, it brings a smile to their face. For sure.
So and it almost sounds cliche at this point, but you're happy to wear a bucket because the tears sometimes come.
Yes, they do. Yes, yeah, exactly.
But so that's one of the things we're definitely focusing on, and we're hoping to have this done, or at least.
Yeah, what's the goal for?
Well, the goal is there's a for those who don't know, there is a event that happens towards the end of the year where we have an awards dinner, and we kind of recognize those who have gone above and beyond and have reached certain milestones as far as trooping.
So there's basically a trooper of a month, right?
Trooper of a month.
Trooper of a month, and then trooper of the year.
Exactly.
And then like you said, then we actually recognize those milestones as far as how many troops that person has been in.
Right.
Yeah.
And so awards basically are handed out. It's a formal where we do not dress up for once in our lives.
Right. And, you dress up in tuxedo.
We put a suit and tie on, and it's really nice. It's a nice event, even for the wives that aren't completely 100% into what we maybe do.
Right. Or the husbands.
Or the husbands, yeah.
There's a lot of ladies in the 501st.
There is a lot of ladies.
Yeah.
And so it's a nice dinner and a little awards thing. And
so your goal is to try to debut it there.
Yeah. And it's a long day, so we're not going to play the whole thing, but they
maybe
have
like a trailer?
A trailer.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
a little teaser or something.
Yeah.
Star Wars Celebration is this year in Chicago too.
Watch. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Chicago too.
Yeah. 2019. Yeah.
I don't want this talk. I just want to do the podcast.
We are doing the podcast.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
So it would be really cool to get footage of that, but you know,
I see what you're saying. Like part of that would be at Celebration.
Yeah. So I would like. I definitely wanted to put a cap on it, but there's so much cool stuff to cover.
Yes.
And there's so many people I want to talk to.
Yeah. It could be like a 5 hour.
And I'm trying to definitely cap this thing at
what's your goal?
45 minutes, maybe.
Oh no!
To an hour.
You need to do like a Netflix thing where you have maybe it's like you have like 4 hour shows or something like that, because there is a lot to cover.
There is so much,
and there's so many cool stories.
It is, and and I've kind of taken on the role of
Are you emceeing it? Yeah.
So I try to stay out of it as much as I can, because I don't want any kind of focus on me or nothing like that. But there's those that are kind of uncomfortable in front of the camera, and so I kind of help walk them through it. But all that can be edited, and that's the real magic between those
actually doing it and then putting it on film.
So we're gonna find the story too and post and
find the narrative.
We're just grabbing all this footage now, and there's so much, because I'm going through like the dailies and just the footage we got, and there's some really good stuff in there, and we got a few people breaking down, and
in a good way.
In a good way, because there's a lot of emotions involved in what we do, and there's, like I said, there's a lot of people that are into it for different reasons, and so it's going to be good. I'm excited about this project, and I like I said, there's so many people I want to talk to and get their perspective on, and just
because I say this a lot. Like I always wish Disney stayed with Star Wars anthology with the with the new movies, with the standalone movies, but then they changed it to a Star Wars story. Yeah, and I like to tweak that a little bit and say like, it's cool because everyone does have a Star Wars story, right? And so it's unique to say like, Star Wars affects people in different ways, and this is a great avenue, especially somebody that like the 501st, where you're kind of committed at that point. You're kind of all in, but finding even deeper stories and how, even if they're not related to Star Wars, those charitable events make that happen, which is a kind of cool connection. Yeah. So what do you think about the whole Disney Star Wars takeover? Well, I do like. So you're interviewing me now? Well, I mean, it's definitely no, it's totally fine. I think it's a good thing. Yeah. Because like for you and I, I'm a little bit older than you. I was born in '75, so everyone has their own anchor as far as how they got into Star Wars. For me, it's Empire. Yeah. No doubt. But then. For others, it could be the prequels. Yeah. Like I don't like Phantom Menace that much, but some people are saying Phantom Menace is that's my movie. And I get that. And I always it's been an epiphany for me that people of another generation got drawn into Star Wars from the prequels. Like that blows my mind. Okay, so when I think Star Wars, I'm thinking the original 3. Right. And like you must love Star Wars because of this, and New Hope. Yeah. So there's a whole generation that come to love Star Wars on these prequels, and I forget about that. There's the prequels, and then there's the Clone Wars, the anime series, which is just coming back. It's coming back. Yeah. San Diego just dropped that news. I'm excited for that. Yes, absolutely. Well, and that too. Like that was an unfinished story, and they put stuff on Netflix for some of the stuff that they didn't finish, and now they're going to bring that back. Disney's bringing it back. So thank you, Disney. So going back to that, and this is a long-winded answer. Say then there's Clone Wars, then there's Rebels, which is another one that people are anchored to, and then now you have Disney, and so I'm okay with it because I want people. The more people that love Star Wars, I want that community to grow.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So whatever that anchor is, because like my big thing, especially like the original trilogy, and my co-host Heather can to testify is like I hated Ewoks because like when I was a kid, when I was like Blake's age. People were like, "Oh, Star Wars, you mean the teddy bears?" I'm like, "No, it's so much more than teddy bears."
Yeah.
But like Heather, she really loves Ewoks, and so after many years, I'm down with the Ewoks now. I'm like, that hatred's gone. But like, I'm okay if you love Jar Jar. I'm okay if you love pod racing.
Right.
Like, I'm okay with like if you love all the kind of little quirky things that are in Star Wars. So yeah.
And you know that's funny that you mentioned the Ewoks because I've heard that, and it's obviously from those who are older than me, because I was probably right at that age where, I mean, Star Wars was everything, and you could have thrown, little fuzzy bunnies in there, and I would have loved it.
Right.
But I don't have a problem with the Ewoks. I never had a problem with the Ewoks, and when I found out that there was people that hated the Ewoks when those movies came out,
I was one of those people.
That kind of blew my mind a little bit because it made me think about what this generation hates about the movies that come out. And you mentioned the Jar Jar Binks or the Porgs or whatever it may
Porgs, Rose. I mean, there's all those things that are coming out, right now with everything. So it's like, it's hard to understand, like, what the hatred is, you know, but like I could get it too,
And so I'm on two separate sides of the coin as far as, people being overcritical about the movies. Yes, I think there should be some criticism as far as keeping the stories on a level where, they're good and not just putting out crap.
Yes. Yeah. You want, like, my big thing is you want quality.
Yeah, you want quality.
Yeah.
But on the same side of the coin, it's like, get over it. I mean, for a lot of people that
it's just a movie.
It's just a movie. I mean, you complain about, this would never happen in space or something like that. I'm like, none of this would probably ever happen in space,
Right.
But
there'd be no sound in space.
Right. I mean, there's like a lot of people pick and choose what they want to get upset about, and I think a lot of it is just a broken record because even these critics, you hear them say the same thing over and over again, and they're just jumping on this bandwagon. It seems like.
Well, but I kind of like, especially with the recent trend with Last Jedi, like I'm like, guys, we survived the prequels, and now years later, people are like, I love the prequels.
Right.
Well, that's not what everyone was saying back then, and I think just this day in social media and the internet, it's kind of easy to kind of pick that side and just run with it. And sometimes what you have to do is like, you know what? I'm going to take the good parts I like and some of the bad parts we can discuss, but like try to be civil about it and not just be like it's all or nothing, because I don't think that really is Star Wars. There's many people that don't like whatever, don't like droids or, or people that love droids or whatever, whatever those things are.
Each movie gives you something great out of it. The prequels gave us Darth Maul. And I mean, obviously people loved him because he's, spoiler alert, he's back.
Back. He was back. Yeah.
And then you had him all in the animated series and everything like that. So, but, even Solo, people are crapping on that right now. And I'm going to be 100% honest, I actually fell asleep for Solo.
Yeah.
But
I had to keep wanting to see.
Let's.
Wake him up.
You got to preface that because you, first of all, you work nights, right?
Yeah, I work nights. Let me give a little backstory for that. I work nights, and so I just got off work, and I EC'd, which is event coordinator.
Event coordinator. You got to give the lingo for 501st. Yeah.
A solo premiere troupe at a local theater. So I was going on no sleep, and so I came from working nights to getting everything kind of organized, and then going into costume for hours.
Yeah. Then
drinking. Then drinking. I had because we had a little time before the movie and we sit down.
Yeah.
So we had a few beers in the theater.
Right.
It was one of those fancy theaters.
Right. Yeah.
And when the lights went down, I could not keep my eyes open.
So Blake was the saving grace there, huh?
Well, he was. He wouldn't even see any of it if I didn't keep on looking to the side and be like,
Dad.
Yeah. But I was awake long enough to see some of the coolest parts, the Mud Trooper, which which I'm working on right now.
Yeah. So okay.
And then I seen the whole mall thing.
Yes,
But yeah, so I have to go back and watch it again.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, there was nothing in there that I didn't like that I seen.
Right.
But yeah, I have to go back and watch that.
There you go. So let's start with Blake. So Blake, you're currently a Jawa. Are you going to be anybody else anytime soon, or you just love being a Jawa right now?
I like being a Jawa. I mean, it would be cool though to have armor and stuff. Like I see some kids have that, but I kind of just want to stay in size with some Star Wars stuff. And maybe when I'm older, I can use his stormtrooper or Tusken.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, because you and I are a little short for being stormtrooper. We're still stormtroopers, right?
Yeah.
But you're saying because the size you are right now, you're like, I like being a Jawa because that kind of fits the character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he wants to be screen accurate.
Exactly. There are some large Jawas in A New Hope.
Yeah.
A good Instagram is to follow Jawzilla is this guy's name. I have no idea who he is, but he's gonna be a celebration and I want to meet him. He's 6'6" and he's like a Jawa. It's amazing.
That's funny.
So anyways, so you like being a Jawa now. I mean, and like you said, you kind of get in character.
Yeah, even my one friend even said he likes my Jawa too. Really good. He wants to trade his.
Oh,
Jawa
he has a Jawa. So what he's saying is he has a Jawa too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he likes his
better.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I mean, it's fun because.
And then what are you how did you get into the 501st with what costume?
So I ordered the Anovos kit, and for anyone that knows anything about Anovos, they know there's a bit of a time wait.
There's a time wait, yeah.
So that was another part of the time period of me knowing about the 501st, but actually getting approved for the 501st because I'm waiting on my costume. And I did a lot of things with the members. Before
prior to that,
like at C2E2, he would be a wrangler during the time of shooting the troopers and stuff like that with the Nerf guns. But anyways, so I couldn't wait no more, and
I gotta do it.
I gotta get something, and I was.
Did you get on the deal? Because that's how I got in. I got in the deal, the 350 or 450 deal or whatever.
Yeah, I got in that deal.
Yeah. I waited a long time too. Yeah.
I wasn't on that. I wasn't at that convention, but my sister went and basically paid the money for me once she found out, and then I just paid her back. So, but anyways, what ended up happening was I'm like, I got to do something. And one of the easiest routes in the 501st is to do a tie reserve, which is just basically a jumpsuit, a belt, boots, and a hat. And you're good to go. And you can get approved, and that opens you up to all these forums and the Facebook page and allows you now access to get, to other things that you may need to help build your next costume.
Right.
But I went a different route. I went Jawa. I went Tusken Raider. So, which has always been another favorite character of mine. And
did you do a tie reserve or you went Tusken?
I went Tusken.
Okay.
So yeah. So I found a bucket, a kit that was pretty good. So I went through Etsy. I mean, it's a pretty good. It's a pretty good place to find some things, but I found this bucket, and the rest of the stuff is just a matter of sewing. Yeah. So, it seemed to me a pretty easy thing to do, right? And to get approval, right? And so that's the route I took, and I got approved through my Tusken Raider, which is a great costume. Can't really see much in it, but
I think that's can you see pretty good in your Jawa or?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. But in a TK or even a Tusken's even worse, right?
Yeah, a Tusken. A TK is beautiful compared to a Tusken. In fact, a funny story. This last C2E2, I actually took out a little girl, like hard. I was being walked.
You were a Tusken?
I was a Tusken.
Okay.
Yeah. My TK, which is a stormtrooper for those who are unaware of that. But I was in my Tusken that day, and we were doing a group photo, and I was being walked to the group photo. But we're talking across the entire showroom floor.
Yes,
So,
which is large.
So
it's
I'm
large.
trying to keep up with the guy ahead of me, going through crowds, and I actually had a sound glove, which makes the Tusken Raider sounds,
Very nice. So you have buttons in your gloves that do the different sounds?
Exactly. So I'm using this thing as like a horn. Like, get the heck out of my way, Well, so anyways, I'm walking, and all of a sudden I just feel a large thump on my leg, and
Did you barrel roll?
No, it wasn't me. I hit a little girl, and I must say, man down. And so I, as much as I could see through those little holes in my mask, I seen her laid out on the floor, and I apologized, and I and kept going. I mean, so I should have taken my bucket off and just walked, but live and learn. So there's
You're still staying in character.
Yeah, I'm still staying in character. Disney would be proud.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, no, yeah. Like, even in the TK, you really, when you look down, you can't really see below your waist a lot of times. No. And, like, in those convention settings where a little kid likes to hug, like, do kind of the side hug leg thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's been a couple times like, whoa, I didn't even see that you were there, and that's always good. In 501st terms, we have like a handler or spotter or something that lets you know, like, there's people around or there's a little kid or something like that.
Yeah,
you kind of need that.
You do.
You took a kid out.
Yeah, I took a kid out. It happens. So they'll probably hate Tusken Raiders for the rest of their life or Star Wars. So
that's awesome. Yeah. What other memorable moments have had in 501st and trooping, like some other, either like a special moment to you, like you kind of talked about the hospital trip, but anything else that has been special to you?
Well,
because we're pretty much the same time. Like, I got in November of 16.
Yeah. I'm my TK number is 730. I'm sorry, 7. Oh my goodness, 7430. Yeah, 30.
Yeah.
And so that's the date I got in. So,
okay.
Besides spending the time with my son and being at troops with him, I think there's always some kid there that makes it worthwhile. And it's I had this one little girl. She must have been like 2 years old.
Okay.
And she kept coming up to me, and we were in like some gymnasium type of setting where they had all kinds of events for the kids to do things, and they would just go from booth to booth. Well, we were just walking around freely, and she kept coming up to me, holding my hand, going, "Tooper."
Yeah.
And her mom was like, "Oh, she loves stormtroopers." And I'm like, how?
How is that possible?
Yeah. But it was the most adorable thing. This little girl is just so cute. And, she kept coming back to me, like throughout the whole day, just wanting to hold my hand or hug my leg, like you said.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, it's little things like that, I have an early photo of myself with a Vader. And this is before the 501st existed. So I don't really know the terms of, how this appearance was as far as, like who made the costume.
Right. Yeah.
Or what was that. But I had that photo on my wall for years. For years and years and years. And it's just to think that I may be part of some kid's memory.
Dude, that's deep. That's deep. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So, it's those little things that are kind of neat, and that stick out in kids' minds. I know that I probably spoiled Star Wars for my son.
Right, yeah.
I mean, he sees us in costume, and he knows who's who without even seeing their face. I mean, he knows that's his bucket, that's Tim, that's Todd, that's, so, like, the mystery's gone for him.
Right, yeah. You like you said before, when you go to these troops, you kind of have the inside, you get to see the backside of, or what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You get that feeling, but like you kind of ruin that magic moment where a kid would know, oh, that is that really a stormtrooper?
Yeah.
No, that's my dad, and that's my dad's friend, you know.
Yeah.
But it's still cool, right, for you? Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, sometimes, though, if we're going to, like, a convention, sometimes I want it just to, like, not you even be in our costume, it would be, like, how we originally used to go there.
Oh,
you know?
right, yeah.
Yeah, just father and son.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out, just hanging out, geeking out.
You know, sometimes it does feel like work a little bit, you know? Especially if you got the kids with you, you know. So I have to balance my time, especially when I take him with me. I have to be like, all right, it's time to be a father now. and suit down.
Well, no, like I would just say, like even C2E2 just this last year, like, you know, I trooped 2 days, and then that third day I was like, all right, it's just me and the family hanging out, because again, I want to enjoy it on that side as well. But I mean, there is a little bit work into it, because I mean, you have to get there early. Yeah. There's some prep setting, you know, taking, you know, especially some costumes take a long time to get in. Yeah. And then when you're suited up, but that all outweighs when you have those experiences or have those moments with those, you know, the fans or you know, people that you're doing the charity work with. It pays off. Yeah. It's
a fun organization and club to be in. Yeah. It's worldwide. In fact, I just had a guy reach out to me in Dubai.
Seriously?
Yeah, and he's coming down to Chicago at the end of this month and into August, and said, hey man, I'd love to meet a few of the Garrison members while I'm down here. I'm like, absolutely, let's hook it up. So,
wow.
So yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing that
you normally get.
Right.
You wouldn't get that. Yeah.
Any of us can do that. You know, I'm like waiting to go somewhere, you know, another state, and just call up the local Garrison and say, hey, I'm going to be in town. Can I meet some of you guys?
Yeah.
And, you know, and I know, just like we would be hospitable to them, the same side. You know.
Yeah, well, we, you know, like the Midwest Garrison, like kind of going back to what you said about the documentary, that used to be multiple states. Now it's just Illinois, right? So like before
I think
it was
part of Indiana too. I think.
Okay,
I have to double check that.
Yeah,
fact check that.
Well, no, they have like Northern Darkness, which I love. I love that name. I was like, that's the Indiana troop. So I mean, I think it's awesome that we can have that connectivity, and it is worldwide. Yeah, you know,
and you know, there's all kinds of things. You know, there's the patches that that represent our garrison. That
why don't you explain that a little bit too?
So we have a local garrison patch that, you know, we can trade and things like that. And one thing that I've noticed is, and I agree, is that our garrison patch, the Midwest Garrison, is a pretty cool patch. It's
pretty tight.
It's a sand trooper.
Yeah,
and it's kind of world. I mean, it's coveted by a lot of other garrisons.
Yes.
I mean, there are people that have reached out to me on Instagram and Facebook and say, "Can you please send me one of your patches? I love your patch.
Love them." Yeah.
I got one guy that he just collects all these Midwest Garrison patches. I mean, it's a cool patch, and I've received patches from other garrisons from Ireland. You know,
Pathfinders.
Yeah, and, you know, and all kinds of other garrisons and outposts.
Right, and so that's kind of a thing in the 501st too, is like trading patches.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like a, you know.
It's not my thing.
Okay.
But
it is a thing.
It is definitely a thing. It's
like a subculture of a culture of a culture.
Right. It's kind of like the equivalent of the pins at Disney World.
Yes, exactly.
So, which is not a thing I've ever knew about until I went there, like recently, like maybe, I don't know, it's been a while since I've been there, but I'm like, oh, this is cool, you know, this whole pin thing. Yeah. So it's kind of, and there is pins too, and coins, but it's basically coins and patches, and so, but the patches also come from troops that we do, so especially things that are annual. Yeah. So you know, hospital visits, there may be a patch for. You know, I think last year, Bartlett Parade, there was a patch given out for that. So, and then we're actually one of the type of things I'm working on is I'm on the welcome committee.
Tell me a little bit about that. What's that?
So that's fairly new. There's a few of us members that kind of got involved as far as what we do is
when somebody gets in.
When someone gets in, we want to make sure that they're welcome. And not that they wouldn't be, but we want to make sure that they get what they're supposed to be getting, and that would be a patch, a certificate.
Yeah.
A lot of guys that kind of got through.
I never got mine.
Never got theirs.
I never got mine.
Right. And so, we want to make sure that they're not only getting those things, but they're getting whatever help they need.
Yeah.
That we're kind of like a buddy system where, I'm like the south side, and then there's the north side. And so they can reach out to us and be like, hey, let's help them get to a troop. Because, even when you become a member,
it's like, what do I do now?
Right, going through the forums and, and finding where the troops are.
It's a little archaic.
It is. And, I'm getting better at it myself, but if it wasn't for the Facebook page, I would probably never have made it to any of the troops. And those troops were pinned. So I would just take the ones that were pinned. I never actually went to the forums because those are a little confusing to me. Not so much anymore. Now I understand them, but computers in general is not my forte. But that's kind of what a little part of what we do. And so.
So just basically welcome them. They get a certificate, get a patch. Yeah.
So it's fun. It's not. I don't even think it's official yet, but it's just something that a few of us members are trying to go out and do, as far as making sure that everyone feels that
it's a family. It's a family, and and it
is a big family. There's the garrison is my second family, as far as, there are some great guys and gals that I would probably never have met if I was not, and we're from all walks of life, cops and firefighters, and
you're a candy man.
I'm a candy man. I make gummy bears. So, that's all different types of trades and type backgrounds, and and that's worldwide. So
that's a cool thing.
And Star Wars is bringing everyone together. That's the glue.
And back to your original question. I'm okay with. I don't care for like a movie every year from Disney, but as long as Star Wars is in and there's some new content being developed, either movies or cartoons, I want that. Yes, I want that. Yeah, because that only gives more opportunity for new cosplay, new costumes that we can use in the 501st, and
new canon.
New canon. I mean, that's fantastic. You know, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I still remember when Force Awakens came out. Like, you were buying tons of stuff, like the toys and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the little posable ones that barely even pose, but I remember getting those and all the hype for Star Wars. It was like really crazy.
Exactly.
I remember when this is during the dark ages, like we were just talking about, when there was no new Star Wars figures, and those figures came out with the big muscles.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's how I got in. That's how I got in. Like, because I only had a limited run of stuff when I was a kid, you know. But now that I was in college at that time, and I was like, dude, now I can actually make that original 12. Like, I never got the original 12, you know. So that for me was my end. But yeah, the original guys were all like kind of based on comics, and they were all like, Luke Skywalker looked like He-Man.
Yeah.
Like Darth Vader looked like Hulk Hogan because he had like 48-inch pythons. You know, it's like, but yeah, that really got me into collecting again because of that new run. You know.
And funny story about that, my mom worked at Jewel's, a nighttime cashier, and my mom's never been into my Star Wars, collection or anything like that. But a box of those 12 came into the store to hang up at the shelf. She took the whole box and gave it to me. And my son could tell you, like, my mom would never do anything like that for me. Anything Star Wars related. I had a 40th birthday party that they celebrated, and they put up some Star Wars banners and stuff like that. But I mean, like, that's the extent, you know. She's not into my obsession, not like my dad was, you know. But I was really shocked that she got those for me because I didn't even ask, you know.
Oh, right.
And so that was very cool, and I was, even though they looked crazy.
Yeah. It was still cool.
It was
still cool.
very cool to have new Star Wars action figures out,
Oh, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, let's do a little lightning round to wrap this up.
Sure.
All right, so, Blake, what is your favorite Star Wars character?
Myself and
Me as a Jawa?
yeah, and Boba Fett, and I also like Greedo. Like I like his design.
He's a big Greedo fan. In fact, he likes a lot of underdogs.
Yeah, I know. So, all right, so you like being a Jawa,
Yeah.
Greedo, Boba Fett. Okay.
Yeah.
Greedo's definitely a cool looking character.
Yeah. Oh, I love Greedo. Yeah. Did you know that when they reshot it, it was a girl?
Yeah.
And she was wearing high heels?
Yeah.
That was Greedo as a girl.
Yeah, Greedo was a girl, yeah.
Why?
Just in costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, for when they filmed it.
I want to talk on.
Okay, 1 second. All right, so Boba Fett, Greedo, Jawa.
Yeah, and I also in like Star Wars Battlefront, because I just got that game. Like I saved up all my credits and stuff just to get like the Greedo skin for the officer, like the Rogan.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
I just got the new game Battlefront.
Yeah, we got Battlefront too, right? Yeah.
It's
and
pretty cool.
it's
Yeah, we're
just.
trying to get this Greedo thing.
I know we're trying to get the Rodidian, right?
Yeah. And we can't.
I know, because it's so many credits.
Yeah.
What I upset was because EA with the whole pay for system, they kind of said, "Oh, give everything for free," but I already spent like all my credits, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna use all that for like new skins." But
that's
okay.
what I'm doing. Like I'm saving for the legendary skins, like 8,000. Like I'm gonna buy the solo skin.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, all this is over my head. I'm not a gamer at all.
Oh, okay. What?
No, not at all.
Oh my gosh. Okay, all right.
I can teach you.
Trek can teach you.
No, I mean, like, I think
You're not
it's
a Nintendo boy, huh?
No, I think it's awesome. I just cannot get the control of the shooter games, the the camera up, the cammer down. I'm like, it's just irritating.
We'll stick with side scrollers.
I'm watching him like, no, you gotta do this.
Yeah.
Trent can teach you, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty good at it.
You're pretty good at it. Yeah.
I do headshots.
All right. Yeah. All right. So, Tom, what are your favorite Star Wars characters?
Well, I love the Stormtroopers. I love any kind of trooper that comes out, but I gotta go with Boba Fett too. He's always been one of my favorites.
I knew I liked you.
Yeah, I mean, he's just. Before any of the hype or anything like that, I mean, there's just that appeal. I mean, it's just
there's a mystery appeal to it,
right? I mean, he just looks so cool, and I mean, for me at a young age, before I mean, I know a lot of people jump on bandwagons for this type of stuff, but I mean, there's a reason why he's cool, and a lot of people like him, and it's just
absolutely.
It's just I love the fact that developing his backstory with with everything going on with the prequels and maybe even the future with some of these new solo stories. We'll get to kind of see a little bit more about that, but yeah, he's got to be one of the closest ones. There's other little guys and things that are always cool, but I'd say Fett.
Okay, Trent, what's your favorite Star Wars character?
I like Luke because he has because he beat Starfighter with his hand off.
Who?
Luke,
yeah.
And Jabba,
you like Jabba?
Yeah, Jabba's like he does nothing. He does nothing.
Oh yeah, he just sits there. He's a gangster. He just laughs. Oh.
And like Luke just jumps off, and why is he coming back up?
Oh, Luke, when he drops off the plank, he was using the Force. I thought you liked Kylo Ren.
I do.
Captain Phasma.
I do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you like those characters too? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I like everyone.
Right.
Okay. I like the clones.
So, what's your favorite Star Wars movie of all right now with the current ones that are out?
That's kind
Blake first. Yeah.
That's hard though because I like the Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
But like my sister always puts the cartridge or whatever they're called. The
Carbonite? Which one? What?
The before disc. The
the V8. It's called VHS, son. Yeah. It's
those cartridges.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the VHS, and she always likes to put the tapes in.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, even though I have everything on DVD, she just she likes it. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So you Return of Jedi?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I like the Clone Wars. Like I
Of
like
course.
the TV shows.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. How about you, Tom?
I'd have to say Empire.
That my boy.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yep.
I mean, I seriously walked out of Rogue One like stoked. Like that's how I should feel coming out of a Star Wars movie every time.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that for
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Yeah.
You know, like I enjoyed aspects of it, but I was just like,
Yeah.
you know, like that was cool.
Yeah.
But
no,
when
I after Rogue One, I'm like, I'm doing the slow clap. I'm like,
yeah.
you know,
And so that feeling alone that I got from watching that is enough to put it, you know, at one of my top favorites. And then, you know, Return of the Jedi is, I mean, I loved the everything about that. I mean, like you said,
the Boba Fett part.
well, yeah, but,
George didn't know what to do with Boba Fett.
I mean, the fact that it had Boba Fett in it was awesome. The speeder bikes, which was always one of my favorite scenes. I mean, it was just incredible going through the forest. I love the scenery. You know, I just that the world itself. So I'd have to put it Empire, Rogue One, then Return of the Jedi.
All right, cool. Very cool. All right, last question, and then we'll wrap this up. So, what's your favorite scene in Star Wars? Like, after all the movies, like, what's, like, the one that you're like, that is my favorite scene?
You go first, Dan.
Oh, man.
No, I go first.
Okay, Trent, what's your favorite scene?
I like Luke jumps off the plank.
Return of Jedi, you like the Sarlacc pit scene?
Yeah, he just like
He does a little single to R2 and says, shoot his lightsaber over there.
He uses the Force. I like Boba Fett when he dies.
Oh, yeah. He burps.
Yeah, that's the stinkiest part.
Okay.
All right, so if I had to go, I'd have to obviously return back to Rogue One.
Okay. Okay.
Vader. You know,
the hallway scene?
The hallway scene.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. And I think, I mean, the fact that that's towards the end of the movie, and that's one of the last memories you have of that movie, I think that's why it puts that movie so high up on a lot of people's radar.
Yeah. Well, you kind of get, like, actually, it's that twofold thing where it's such a good segue into New Hope because you have the Vader scene, and then you have the reveal of Princess Leia, and she says hope, and it's like chills, you know, like you get the 1-2 because you get like the scare, like how scared they are in the hallway. You're like, and Vader's like doing stuff in Battlefront kind of Vader. You're like, whoa.
And you know, for years, I mean, Vader's, you know, he's always been a badass, but he's you know, through the plush toys and stuff like that. He's almost been dumbed down.
It's saturated a little bit.
Dumb's a bad word.
Dumb's a dumb bad word. Silly.
So But you know, so we kind of got to see him
at his peak.
Again, and so I mean that was like a good reminder of who Vader is or what he's become. So that would definitely be one of my favorite scenes. But getting back to Return of the Jedi, you know, the speeder bike scene. I mean, you know, those.
And I mean, for me, Return of Jedi, I kind of for a long time blanked out the Ewoks, but anything that happens in the Emperor throne room is like money. Yeah, it's like so good from a Star Wars perspective.
Even the Kylo Ren and Rey fight scene with the
the guards.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
I mean, to see them moving around and stuff like that, that was really cool.
It's even better when they play it with Pantera. Have you seen that? It's fantastic.
Is that a thing now?
Yeah, it's a thing on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube.
Check it out.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right, Blake, what's your favorite scene? Okay.
Probably the Geonosis or
Geonosis, yeah.
Where they're all like hooked up.
Okay. The battle arena scene.
That's my favorite part. Like where all the clones and battle droids are all fighting.
Yes.
And I love all the video game parts. Like
of that. And do you know?
in the Star Wars Battlefront is gonna make that. I'm so excited.
I know. Yeah.
And if there are Ewok games coming out.
Well,
yeah.
And I'm sad about them.
Yeah, you're sad. Yeah, still sad about that. Yeah, we liked the Ewok hunt, didn't we?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to tell you. Yeah, that's one of the things they did, like a little weekend thing where they did Ewok hunt. Yeah, where it was like your Ewoks versus stormtroopers.
Yeah, I seen it.
It was
I'm glad though because I went to one of the people in the Garrison's house, and I got to play that because they had all this
Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I'm behind the times on getting them, Xbox Live.
Right.
Yeah, he
cool.
He got to
That's
play at
awesome.
the Glasses house,
Awesome.
and so he had fun with the boys over there playing that Ewok hunt. So.
Well, again, guys, really appreciate you taking the time and doing this.
This guy was like standing, like looking at the tree I was poking on.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing. You realize like they did a really good job as far as like from a stormtrooper perspective. Like you can't really see,
right? Yeah.
Like they should. They could have done even better because you can't really see it. Just like the Ewoks are like.
I like the whole light thing where.
Yes.
But I would go straight to the caves and like most of the stormtroopers would hang out there, wait for the Ewoks to come in. And we just like shoot fire out. Like some of the game modes are like I was playing and like there's so many people and like there's like a hallway going through and everyone's like shooting. There's like explosions going off. Like you can't even see what's going on the other side because everyone's like blasting and
right. Exactly. So cool. Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys, for coming by and doing this. It's been fun.
Like this guy was like looking at the tree. I was poking him so hard he died.
I know. It was awesome.
He didn't blast me or anything.
He didn't. No.
He didn't.
You want to say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we are back. So, Todd, you seem frozen in carbonite there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty intriguing interview about this documentary.
Absolutely.
I think it's really well placed in as far as it's trying to seek out not only the 501st, the people who do volunteer to help and make this thing run, but to also focus on the people that it serves and the people who benefit from the 501st efforts. So really appreciative of that. Todd, any last thoughts before we close out?
No, I just really appreciate Tom and Blake sharing their story and really looking forward to, Tom's documentary on the 501st because there is a lot of charities and a lot of people don't realize that. And so it is fun dressing up as a plastic spaceman a little bit. And there is some benefit to it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how that pans out. And hopefully it'll be able to share that with a lot more people.
Awesome.
And major props to your co-host.
Oh, right. Trent. Yeah. he loves the podcasting. He's hooked.
Excellent.
Well, Aaron, you wanna wrap us up here?
Wrap it up, put a bow on it, and let's go on home.
Yeah.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of WSTR Galactic Public Access, a Star Wars podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/WSTR. Listen, I know who you are. I know you're out there. You're working, you're hustling, you're grinding. There's just not enough hours in the day. You know reading books is good for you, but when are you going to do that? Never.
When are you? Never. Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't get on your planner. No, you're like, oh, yeah, I read. No, you don't, you liar. Well, guess what? We can make you a truther. Go on over to audibletrial.com/WSTR. Sign up for their free 30-day trial. And hey, you get a free audiobook. You get to keep it. You get to listen to it when you're riding the train, when you're exercising, when you're in a meeting, pushing pencils. You could do it all.
Yeah.
You could be learning while you're not learning. How about that? Recover that lost time, and hey, maybe you'll even be smarter. Because reading books is good for you, but who's got the time? But with Audible, other people could read books for you. How about that?
Right. And then you could speed it. The other thing, you could speed it up. So, just not one time. So you could speed it up and zoom through the book, and process all this information about the story and just more time,
It's like having your own little lackey following you around, reading books to you. Faster.
Exactly. Oh, chapter 3. Here we go.
And hey, if you continue with your Audible trial, every month you get a new free audiobook. You could have your pick from over 180,000 titles for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. What? Yeah, you hipster. You're still using it. You're
still
into
using
that
it.
retro tech. Well, hey, Audible supports that. So good for you and your MP3 player. And hey, you want to support us, right?
Yes.
No, of course not. But hey, if you did,
yeah,
you go over to audibletrial.com/WSTR, get your free trial, your free 30-day trial. And Amazon cuts us a check. So how about that?
Well, it's not Amazon. Well, yeah, Amazon.
Amazon, Audible, whatever.
Audible, yeah. Somebody.
Potato. But
Disney will own them soon too, so it'll be Disney soon, you know.
Yep. All companies become Omnicorp. Omnicorp.
After they delete all their old tweets.
But yeah, and hey, if you don't like it, you want to just scream at the sky, rage against the machine, you can go ahead and cancel your trial. No questions asked. They're not even going to look at you funny. You just cancel it, and hey, you get to keep that free book. How about that?
Yeah. You don't even have to do a Jedi mind trick. You just
you
don't
just
want to
walk
do it.
on out of there.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Nothing never happened.
Right.
audibletrial.com/WSTR. And you can check us out on social media, WSTR Media, all one word, all lowercase. We want to hear from you. So please comment, tweet, rate us on iTunes, or you can email us your 43-page manifesto about why Jar Jar is the chosen one at mailbox@WSTRmedia.com.
I would read that. I would totally read that.
Would you now?
Yes, I would.
Or you can leave us a voicemail at 630-557-WSTR if you want to spout your diatribe all over the airwaves. And hey, we'll play it on an upcoming podcast. So once again, that's 630-557-9787. You can catch our entire back catalog of episodes at www.wstrmedia.com. And we have links there to everywhere we are hosted. How about that?
Yeah. We're everywhere, man. We're everywhere.
All over the galaxy. Now you know all the ways to get a hold of us. Next week, newsflash, something Star Wars. Well, episode 83, good old 1983. We're going to be talking Return of the Jedi.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Hey, it wasn't all that long ago. We were talking about Empire.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be talking about Return of the Jedi. So buckle up, kids.
It's gonna get saucy. Saucy.
And with that, this is podcasting. It's a long one, but we did it.